Good afternoon all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, September 29th, and we are looking at Window Trader's market profile of SPY, IWM, and QQQs. And incredibly, an exact replica of what transpired yesterday when K and L ran up and M gave it all back. Well, and only to be saved by the bell and not have a price probe lower. Same exact thing today. None of us probed, but we all sold off pretty heavy. We're the only one that finished with an inside day. QQQs took out yesterday's low. QQQs end up with the high low today, and K is their afternoon rally high. Russell ends 9 wide, afternoon rally high in K, and the day's high and low. For us, we're only 8 wide. Now, I'm not going to ignore it tomorrow, but going forward, if we don't hit it, I won't carry it forward because I want 9 or more. So believe it or not, today all we have is the day's high and the day's low. We took out both sides of the IB, barely on both sides. Small on the upside, small on the downside. When all the banking heads were talking, the Bank of Japan, England, the Fed, before that happened, this market looked like it wanted to fill singles and maybe form a P shape and see if we got into the upper distribution. Well, they got all agitated when they start hearing about inflation and rates and this and that. So for 5 time frames, they absolutely distorted the market-generated information. We went from overlapping the higher to actually unchanged value. And then all this was shorts pushing. We make a new low. And then all of a sudden, when J takes out I, that ended that. And we went right back to what we were doing, J, K, and L. So I wouldn't doubt if this would have been a P shape for a good part of the day until, of course, M decided to distort it. So we have an inside day today. We closed below last month's low again. So that is definitely something, right? We have 1 day to go in the month and the quarter. If we close below last month's low, we have an outside month down. So that could be very interesting. But we have an inside day. Now, before I go any further, I'll be here tomorrow morning. There'll be a video, and I'll be here probably to about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. No video tomorrow night, no videos on Friday. I might do one Sunday afternoon. I might, to recap all 3 of the indices and their charts. I'm not sure yet. As far as my day today, I had a very good day. And I didn't even do anything after K. I watched them. I'll tell you what, though. Even though I didn't do anything the last 2 M periods, I kept my room and myself out of trouble. Because when the market's pushing up like it did yesterday in L, everybody thinks it's filling single prints. When the market's pushing up in K and L today, we're going to take out the high. Everybody's getting all excited. I keep the room out of trouble. And even though maybe I'm not on board the short, at least I'm not long or trying to pick long. Because I guarantee you, I told the room I wouldn't doubt, because we call KL and M the 3 Stooges. I said I wouldn't doubt if the 3 Stooges trade today's entire range. Guess what? We almost did. K just missed the high, M just missed the low. As far as my trades, in A period, when we opened and drove down, I front ran the ES's overnight low with a 433 call. Not a big one, but it worked out. Then when A ripped up and got close to half back, I took a 100 put play of the 438s, and it backed off immediately. We got into a trend of every push up got really hammered down pretty hard today. Well, boy, did that one pay me very nicely. Did it again in B, not as big, but again, the 438 puts. Even though we took out A's high, I was like, if we fill singles and don't get anything more, I would even add to it. But I didn't even get that far as it got hammered down. So I had a very good A and B period. Then I didn't do anything in C and D. In E, I took a long. I got a little lucky in E. I took the long at the time when we pushed back about around half back and around the opening. I added. It got below the opening, but I was fortunate. This is when the Fed, when all the bank heads started talking. They gave me a push up in F that let me get out of it for a profit. And then the trend started. And now, I didn't get hurt, but I certainly didn't short it either, as I watched most of this in F, G, H. It kept trying to go up, but couldn't. I period came down, made a new low, came back. As soon as we came back, I took a long. I was going to use I's low as my out. Only a small one, but that paid. Here's the trade I missed. I had a size call play lined up when I was ending because I really thought sellers had given it their all. We were going to stop the one-time framing down. Well, it popped right away. I didn't take it. It came back. It actually gave me a chance to get in where I wanted, and I didn't take it. Shame on me, because then you see what Jay did, and I wasn't going to chase it. So that's one trade I missed. I did take a short, though, when Jay got higher, and of the 438s, which paid, and I did it again in K when it opened, popped up, couldn't take out the opening, and took a short in K. All the 438 puts today. So I had a really good day. The only trade I'm pretty upset at missing was that long, because that would have been an awesome 50 call play that I should have taken. Just didn't take it. I had the opportunity the second time when it pulled back. As far as destinations for tomorrow, now again, talk about wide destinations. All we have is today's high and low. They have us settling at 434.39, only up 67 cents. We're up $2.50 at one point. So our first destination is today's high of 437.04. So almost $2.50 higher. Now, am I going to ignore an 8-wide pocket B's low? No, I'm not going to ignore it. But I don't think it would provide the same speed bump that it would 9 or higher. Then we have the single prints from yesterday. 437.08 get filled at 20 cents. 438.01, the highest accepted price, B's high. And then 440.04 daily high. And don't forget, we still have a large gap, 441.90. 186-point gap. And then on the downside, we have today's low of 433.85, then 432.94 yesterday's low, and then the weekly low of 428.86. So listen, we had an inside day. If we come out of this inside day, remember we had, where was it? We had an inside day on the 27th. You come out of it, you go with it and monitor it for continuation. Well, boy, oh boy, did that work. We gap lower. Now, I'm not saying we're gapping lower tomorrow, but I will say this. Even though we were up $2.50 at one point, we still traded the entire day in the lower distribution. So the buyers really didn't accomplish much. Yes, they tried to fill the singles. They didn't. Yes, they ended up with overlap on a higher value, but there was no acceptance above the lower distribution. We got above it 5 times, and not once could we stay above it. And we close right around or below last month's low in the ES. We're definitely below SPYs, but that's the dividends involved in that. So if we come out of this inside day to the downside with any kind of tempo and volume, you never know what they can do. Just keep that in mind. I mean, again, I'm not saying, and on the flip side, if we take out today's high, well, then we're certainly going to fill the single prints and get into the upper distribution from yesterday. It's going to be really interesting how they close this month. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be here to see the end of it. So here we go. There's the monthly. Balance, possible outside month down. Weekly, down. Now again, here's another interesting thing. 3 days in the books, we have an inside week. Possible inside week? You never know. So monthly balance, down on the weekly, down on the daily. Yes, it was an inside day. I am not calling this balance yet. Absolutely not. If we take out today's high, then I would call it a 3-day balance. But for now, it is still firmly down. For me, the gap is my main focus. Which way do we come out of the inside day? And by the way, the 20 is getting close to crossing the 50. But those things, I don't put a lot of weight on those, because by the time they crossed them, the damage was done a lot of times. So we'll see. But for sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 days we've traded either at or below the 50. Again, the previous time, all year was 2 days back in March. So we talked about something changing. Sellers still have the ball. Remains to be seen if they can do more damage with it. If they can, we see July's low. Hope you had a good day trading. Have a great night. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.